Hey guys, this is your boy Marcus, and this is basically just a video showing a comparison between the FIFA 13 demo and the PES 2013 second demo, because basically I just wanted to have a little bit of a versus video. But basically, first we'll start off with FIFA. In the background is basically me playing the computer on World Class, because I just can't be bored with Legendary, I don't really see the point of it. And basically I play the last of the games you'll see are actually played on slow speed, game speed, and basically I just want to try it out because I think it's a bit too fast. But the game is visually very similar to not PES, very visually similar to FIFA 12, and it's a bit disappointing that they've not really changed up anything. But well, what do you expect? The game is basically very good. But the game plays a lot differently compared to FIFA 12. It relies more possession play, rather than playing like just running down the wings. But I'm finding it a bit difficult to score, but I don't really know why. It's just a bit weird, really. But I think maybe that's just down to the fact that I've been playing PES a lot, so I'm used to like just being able to score pretty good goals and stuff like that. So maybe that's down to that. But like you never know, because you don't know about because this is a demo. The full game might be completely different, so that's always expected. But there are some stuff which is a bit weird, and the full game will probably fix this for me. But the first touch control is not the best thing since sliced bread. All these people are saying it's like the best thing ever. It really isn't. It's a good addition to FIFA, I'm not going to lie. It adds a little bit of extra randomness to the game, but it's really not needed. It's clever, but like unlike the PES one where you actually have the control over it, the FIFA one it just automatically happens. And like I understand you hold sprint button too much and I'm just going to get all these comments saying hold the sprint button and oh no, you're holding the sprint button too much, that's why you get all these bad first touches. No, I'm not. I'm just passing the ball, and for some reason he just decides to do some sort of flick, and it will just go flying away. It's a bit ridiculous, but I mean, what's the problem? I mean, it's quite a big problem, but I mean, they should tone it. It's supposedly toned down for the full game. I mean, all the likes of Calfreezy, KSI, Nepenthes, Air Japes at the FIFA event, they played it, and supposedly it's been like completely toned down, so it should seem a bit better. Another good thing about the game is the attacking AI is absolutely amazing. They make runs for you without you having to actually instigate them, which is really useful. And another thing which is really good is the bloody impact engine. The impact engine is so much better than PES. It's unbelievable how much better it is than PES compared to the PES impact engine is absolutely terrible. It's been the same since like PS2 days, so it's about 7-8 years old, which is a bit bad. But I mean, you never know compared next year due to the fact that PES get the Konami engine compared to just using the engine which you have now, which is probably the same one which they've been using since PES 6 really. Well, there is a problem with the AI, is the defensive AI it's good, but it's not as good as it should be. Considering how good the attacking AI is, the defensive AI is just it limits the game, if you know what I mean. I mean, it's good, but if it wasn't for the really high good AI, then the game would probably just be exactly the same as FIFA 12. But there are some problems with CPU as well. Every single goal they seem to score is just a nice little sweaty cutback. I mean, it's a bit disappointing, but I mean, you can't really do anything about that. It's just I just don't like it. It's good, but I mean, every goal in this video which I concede is usually either a mistake by me, a mistake by the AI, or a mistake it's just literally the AI runs down the wings and passes it into the box and just shoots first time and it always goes in. It's a bit retarded, if I should say, but like in a way, like this goal especially. I mean, he's running the wing, just passes it to Dzeko and he just pops it in. It's ridiculous, but anyway, the shooting is really good. The shooting has the sort of oomph feeling, the sort of PES feeling you get from shooting, which isn't that bad considering the fact that both games are so bloody similar this year. Like basically, I have converted a couple of people from playing FIFA to PES, and they've all said, "Oh, the game is just basically FIFA." And I'm like, "Well, technically the game is released early, and all the demos came out before, so technically FIFA is just a lot like PES." Like, I'm not trying to say FIFA is PES and PES is FIFA. Both games are so similar. I mean, they even have one of the songs "On Top of the World" by, I don't remember who the band are, but "On Top of the World" it's in both games, and you think, well, the game PES must be good if it's getting a soundtrack which FIFA has as well.
It's a bit weird, but I mean, what do you expect? But yeah, PES, not PES, FIFA. I'll be buying FIFA. I probably won't be buying FIFA because my birthday is the day before the release date in the UK, so 27th of September. So not next week, the week after. So basically, I'll probably get it as a birthday present as expected. So that'll be quite good. I mean, I won't have to buy it with my own money. I'll be able to get it as a birthday present, which is pretty good. I mean, it makes it a lot easier. And the fact that FIFA's always released at this time of the year means I don't usually ever actually have to buy it. So it helps, sort of, if you know what I mean. They just get it as a birthday present. But what's it called? The game's good. Demo's pretty decent, and look, swiftly we'll be moving on to the PES footage, and for me to do some comparisons. But I mean, the PES footage I don't show that much because of the fact that you've all seen it so much. Like, basically, my channel is all filled with footage from PES 2013, and I might as well. I'll be doing videos for both of them, so I don't see there's no problem with that. But I mean, that's expected. But yeah, after this clip, which is a goal with Nasri. I really hated scoring this goal, but it was a really good goal. I'll move on to PES. Well, PES is really good. The graphics are absolutely amazing. Like, they've been amazing for the last 2 years, so I mean, that's expected. The presentation is still really good. The menus, quicker menus, are easier team management. I mean, that's all simple. I mean, you've heard me talk so much about PES in terms of how good it is in terms of everything. So basically, this part of the segment of this video will be a lot to do about what's wrong with PES compared to FIFA, but I will also point out some good positives which I've noticed recently. But I have to say this, PES is officially back. I mean, there's nothing they can do to until next year with the new engine. PES can't get any better than it is right now. It feels so much like PES 6, like a mix of PES 6 and PES 5, the perfect mix of them, and the first touch control is absolutely fantastic. I mean, it allows you to actually take control of the first touch compared to FIFA, where it's a bit more random. With PES, you actually get to use the R2 right trigger button to hold it and control. But there are some problems. The goalkeepers, of course, aren't the best. The goalkeepers have never been the best in PES. Even if I played PES 6 last week, and PES 6, the goalkeepers are not the best. I mean, people always go on about how good the goalkeepers are. The goalkeepers are good, but they're not the best thing ever. The passing is still smooth like hell. The new thing of being able to flick the ball up with R3, the right stick, is absolutely fantastic. I mean, it's the shooting you get, this goal especially. I mean, it's an amazing shot by Quagliarella because I flicked it up, and that's why I get all the extra generated power from the ball coming down. And I mean, it's just really cool. It allows you also to have problems with first touch as well, and the game doesn't always do exactly what you want, like the sombrero flick and the like. But basically, I get Chiellini sent off because I wanted just to show you a bit where the fact that I can change the team management in 10 seconds. I move Vidal back and I don't remember who I bring on, but I move Vidal back from centre midfield. Sorry for the sniffling. I've got a cold right now, so it's a bit harsh, but. Yeah, I take off Quagliarella, I think, and I bring on. I'm sure I do something else rather than just do what I'm doing right now, but I do some other stuff as well. But moving on to a bit more of the problems. I mean, instead of of course, giving lots of info and praise, giving lots of praise for PES, and I have a lot of praise for PES. It's really good, but I'm going to just focus a bit more on the problems. The impact engine in FIFA is absolutely amazing compared to the PES one, where basically the impact is it hits you and he goes flying to the floor every time. Every single time it's more or less exactly the same. It's a bit disappointing, but I mean, that's expected considering that Konami have been really focusing on the gameplay issue rather than the actual visual, which I can see because of the fact that they want the Konami engine, the Fox engine next year to really be the proper major thing. But I mean, another good thing about PES is the CPU. The CPU play absolutely like their real life counterparts. I mean, the counterparts, for example, I was listening to the WENB blog, the podcast blog, and I'll link the podcast below in the description if you really want to listen to it. It's an hour and a bit long, and it's actually really, really informative on what the full game's about. Now, of course, put little small links to where they talk more about the game rather than just talk about what's going on with PES, but for example, one of the guys said that if you really want to play it, have a really, really good game, when you first start the game playing the Malaga home stadium. I don't remember what it's called. I think it's the La Rosaleda. I'm not sure, but it's all in the WEMB podcast, and like supposedly the atmosphere is meant to be absolutely amazing. But as you can see, I can't commentate on the commentary because the commentary isn't there, but I'm sure it's still Jim Beglin and John Champion, which is a bit disappointing, but it brings some sort of funniness to the game and like a little bit of extra comedy, which is a bit ridiculous, but it's quite funny. Can't come on online for both games because of the fact that I didn't have the full game, so of course I can't comment on online other game modes. Like supposedly Master League is supposed to be really like messed up in PES this year because of the whole boots issue, but I don't know. I can't comment because of the fact I don't know all the information, so I don't know if it'll even play out well or not. But I mean, NBA 2K13 have a really similar thing this year where boots do certain things, like certain basketball boots do different things to you. But as you can see, in this bit of the second half of the first half of the Man United Barcelona game, I decided to change it to game speed +1, and the game is so unbelievably fast, and it's even faster than the FIFA on this setting. But once you go back to 0, it goes so slightly slower than FIFA, and pacing when it's slightly slower than FIFA at normal pacing is absolutely amazing. To me, FIFA feels a bit too fast, but I mean, I'm not hating on either game. Both games are really good this year. But basically, another good thing about both games really is I'm going to give them both an 8.5 out of 10. Now you're already going to go 8.5, that's rubbish. 8.5 is absolutely amazing. Considering that, well, I've not got the full games. This is based on demos which aren't like 100% finished, so you don't know how the final game's going to even end up like. So they could be basically should I get both when I get both the games, which will be probably the 28th of September. I'll have both in my possession. I'll make another video like this showing off my like opinion of both games, and I'll give them a rating, like a review. But I'll just make it like quite a short review, considering this is a 12-minute or long video. But and another one thing is, if you have been enjoying playing FIFA 13, give PES a try. Don't just try it once. Give it about 20 games. Like, you might not enjoy it, but after a while you'll start to actually notice how good it is. And when you go back to FIFA, you'll get even better at the game. I've actually converted, I think it's like 4 people who from going saying that they've only played FIFA, and now I gave them a chance to play PES, and they actually enjoyed it a lot. So if you know who you are, what I'm talking about. So yeah, but another thing which I want is, if you enjoy this video, please comment below on what you think is good. But I really don't want some stupid comments where it goes, oh, if PES, FIFA for life because PES is crap. PES isn't bad. PES is really good. Try the game out first before hating on it. I mean, try it for 20 games and give me a reason, like a proper reason why you hate it. If it's just animations, I understand that, but give me like another reason why, and just, oh, the animations and goalkeepers are rubbish. Give me like, oh, I don't enjoy it because the game's a bit too slow for me. And when I put it onto +1, it's not as good. That's expected, but I mean, what do you expect? But anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please check out the content on my channel. Subscribe if you enjoy the content, of course. And I will be making more on FIFA, on both PES 2013 and FIFA 13. And catch you later.